Azure Gleam. Skirmish in the Fog. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus grants refuge to the Central Church as they flee Garrigmach Monastery, in turn provoking the Adrestian Empire to declare war on Fargus. While Dimitri and his advisors strategize how to repel the Empire's assault, they are met with devastating news. Lonato of Castle Gaspar has raised an army against him.
As I'm sure you have all heard by now, House Rowe in the south has declared its fealty to the Empire. What's more, Lord Lonato of Castle Gaspar has set out with the express intention of tracking down and murdering the Archbishop.
I had hoped we could reconcile the matter by using neighboring lords as intermediaries. But it seems Lord Lonato couldn't look past our willingness to shelter the church and has taken the matter into his own hands.
I can't believe this.
Ashe, I won't stop you if you wish to return to Castle Gaspar, even now.
I appreciate the offer, truly. But I am a knight of the royal family. My place is here.
Look how worried Annette looks.
So, what are House Rowe and Lord Lonato's soldiers up to? Or the Imperial Army, for that matter?
There's been no movement from House Rowe as of yet. He likely lacks the nerve. Lord Lonato, on the other hand, has set off from Castle Gaspar and launched an attack on Geraint land. Meanwhile, a vanguard from the Imperial Army has breached Kingdom territory. It seems they're aiming to rendezvous with Lonato and join the assault.
Wait, but if they're just a vanguard, doesn't that mean a larger force is going to come after them? We'll never stand a chance if they manage to meet up and form one massive army.
House Galatea is sending reinforcements to fend them off, but our enemy deployed alarmingly fast. I only hope the House Geraint soldiers can repel Lord Lonato and his men long enough.
In any case, we can't just sit here on our hands. They need help, and fast. Let's ride.
You're right, and I'll be coming with you.
The risk is too great, Your Majesty. You should stay here in the capital.
We've already been over this, Dedue. My leadership is needed on the front lines. We'll march west from Karen territory to intercept and crush Lonato and the Empire's forces. From there, we'll mount an attack on Aryan Road. The Rowe army will be cut off from the Imperial reinforcements and fall by our hand. Finally, we'll seize control of Aryan Road and the entire Western Front along with it.
I've asked a distant relative of the royal family, Duke Ivan, to keep watch over the capital in case of an emergency. Gustav will be staying behind as well. So as long as nothing too extreme happens, we shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Sounds like a plan. Most of the big fights are gonna be around Aryan Road, if I had to guess.
No matter what, we need to hurry. We'll be done for if we don't drive them off soon.
Agreed. And my apologies. We always seem to deploy with such haste lately.
It's nothing. It's not like it's your fault or anything. Sure, you're the king and we're your subjects now, but we're your friends before that. We'll do whatever you need of us.
I suppose you're right. Thank you. Oh, and one more thing before we go. I received word from the church the other day. Seteth and his sister Flane will be joining us from here on out, leading a company comprised of Knights of Seros.
Seteth, huh? I'm not the kind of guy to turn down a helping hand, but I can't help but wonder why.
I haven't had the chance to discuss it with him yet. Perhaps you can ask him yourself if the opportunity arises.
Oh man, so got Setith and Flame. You can now invite allies from with whom you have attained support C, level C or higher on expeditions. What are these? Upon reaching support level C with an ally, you will be able to spend activity points to invite them on an expedition. On expeditions, you can get to know your ally better through conversation and questions. You'll gain support points based on how well you can carry the conversation. If all goes well, you get a quiet moment to observe your ally before returning to base. Respectfully, of course. They had to put that.
Do you have a moment?
Forgive me, but do you have a moment?
Oh. How are you?
Moving forward, I expect our army will continue to advance as we establish more bases such as this one. Whenever a large number of people live together for a stretch of time, various problems are bound to occur.
I wonder.
You may be inconvenienced as well. Please inform me right away if anything comes up. Cracker joke.
Hey.
Inconvenient. If anything, it's a little too cozy around here. You got good food, warmer weather, the works. Huh, perhaps so. Just please don't tell me you wish to return home. The Kingdom Army is a coalition of soldiers from our various lords. We are a congregation of births and ideologies.
Troubling indeed.
Though I hope everyone will understand and compromise with their peers, I suspect that will not always be the case.
Speaking of which,
I had some new facilities established in preparation for the coming battle. I am most certain they will be of great use to you. I bid you to take a look while we have the time. Alrighty. Let me talk to Arvel.
Incidentally,
This will be your first time in Magdred. I hear a dense fog blankets the land there. I wonder if you'll be able to manage.
Huh?
What do you mean? Don't try to hide it. You both know you can be directionally challenged sometimes.
how tiresome.
Just spare me the grief of having to watch you accidentally wander into enemy encampments. So, the Zoro approach. The Zoro approach. Welcome back to Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. So, we are back at the base camp. So this is our base camp focus for the day. I'm going to start off with the support conversations that I have. And I'll list them right here on the screen. So I'm going to do those and then try to try to explore and see what else is new around here, any discussions and stuff like that, any dialogue. So let's go ahead and get to this.
You know, Felix, I've been thinking. Actually, never mind.
What? You can't say that and then not tell me. Come on, out with it.
I'll tell him.
Okay, it's just, even though you never show it, I can tell you really care about Dimitri and the others. You alright there, Felix? There's no reason to get all choked up over it.
It's your fault for saying something so ridiculous.
Hey, you're the one who asked. But it's true, isn't it? I know I'm right.
And what proof do you have?
Well, for one, you move way better when you're fighting alongside them.
That's only because I've known them so long now I can predict their every move. The boar always rushes straight into enemy lines, so I have to be ready to cover him. Of course, few can survive one of his mad dashes. But I can't just leave him alone. The man doesn't give his own safety a second thought. We don't coordinate, though. I just stick around to make sure the coast is clear for him to run wild.
Huh. But when you're fighting with Ingrid, you're usually the one who ends up charging forward.
Yes, because her Pegasus is an easy target for enemy archers. It's better for me to dash ahead first and eliminate any potential threats. Not that she's incapable of dodging an arrow or two. But she loses sight of her surroundings in the heat of battle. If she advanced before I did, a cloud of arrows would be the end of her.
Uh-huh. So then why do you always get surrounded when you're fighting with Sylvain?
Because the braggart always insists on showing off. Though if nothing else, he does have the skill to fight his way out of any bind.
Sounds like that's not part of your strategy then. But you'd still never pull it off if you didn't trust each other.
It's all natural for a soldier.
I'll admit I'm jealous.
You know, I'm kinda jealous. Is that how things are when you've known someone your whole life?
Don't ask me. You could reach the same conclusions about their combat tendencies in just a few battles. If you've already got a good read on me, the others shouldn't be an issue. Anyway, we're done here. Talking to you is exhausting.
That was pretty interesting.
Oh, it's you. What are you doing?
Hey, Ashe. Not much, just perusing this tactics book. Have you read it before?
I sure have. It was popular in Leicester a few years back, if I remember right. I picked it up myself back at the monastery, but it was so dense it took me ages to finish.
It's a pretty tough one, I'll give you that. But there's some great stuff in here too, if you can get past the writing.
Hold on. You were born in a remote mountain village in Ordelia territory, right?
Yeah. What's your point?
I guess I'm just impressed you can handle such an obtuse book, given your upbringing. I mean, nobles and the children of rich families are taught to read by default, but most commoners never get the opportunity. Honestly, I've been wondering who taught you ever since our time at the academy. I hope I didn't offend you. I'm just curious.
Nah, it's fine. I learned from my mom. Adoptive mom, that is. Looking back on it now, it is kinda weird that someone as smart as her was off living in the middle of nowhere like that.
I'm sure she must have had a reason for being there.
Hard to say. She never liked talking about her past, so I don't know much beyond what I saw for myself.
At the very least, it's obvious she was well educated. That's clear just from looking at you. Not only can you read and write, but you know arithmetic and how to navigate with a map, too. In that sense, you're not so different from the average noble or knight raised in the lap of luxury.
You really think? Yeesh, you're gonna make a guy blush. I only have my mom to thank for raising me so well, though.
Yeah, she must have been an incredible woman. You know, I didn't know how to read myself until I met Lenato.
Huh. And now that you mention it, I never really saw the other mercs in my company with a book in their hands. Except for the captain, of course. Makes me wonder where my mom learned all that. But it's not like I can ask her now. She's gone.
Oh.
Bad. But interesting.
You're a lifesaver, Mercedes. Could you help me tend to this soldier's wounds next?
Lady Mercedes, where would you like me to put this?
Oh, yes, just a moment, please.
You really have your hands full, Mercedes. Anything I can pitch in on?
Oh, goodness. I appreciate your offer, but I couldn't possibly ask you to take time out of your day to assist me in these tasks.
Hey, don't be like that. Anyone who's still got the legs to stand on after a battle needs to do whatever they can to help. I'm no physician, but I can at least help get some of this stuff organized.
But you only just returned from combat yourself. Aren't you exhausted?
I'll ask the same.
Hey, I could turn that question right back on you. You were there fighting with us that whole time.
I suppose that's true. But are you sure you don't mind lending a hand?
Sure as anything. Just tell me what to do and I'll be on it before you can even blink.
In that case, there's a box over at the training grounds. Would you mind getting it? There should be bandages and medicine inside, so you'll be able to tell which one it is just by opening the lid.
Got it. Be right back.
Hmm? Oh my, wait just a minute.
What's up?
Give me your right hand.
Okay.
I knew it. You're injured. Here, I can patch this up in a jiffy with my healing magic.
Whoa, it's all better. Thanks, Mercedes.
You need to speak up from now on if you're hurt, all right? Don't be so nonchalant about your health.
Hey, I could say the same thing about... Actually, never mind. Anyway, it should be easier to carry that box now. Thanks again, Mercedes.
No, thank you for offering to help. Oh, and take all the time you need. There's no rush.
I see rank friend too. Alrighty.
Ah, Mercedes. Did you go out?
Yes, I went to the town of Camulus to help the church.
I see. And how did you find it?
The townspeople seemed fine enough, but the clergy were very busy. As you know, lots of people fled to Fargus when the war started. And while a number of towns took in refugees, Camulus is particularly busy on that front.
In that case, I should send reinforcements and resources from the capital. I will speak with Lady Rhea about this presently.
Thank you, Dimitri. I'm sure the clergy will be pleased to hear it. I'm incredibly grateful to you for coming to the church's aid, you know. Most of those people would have ended up homeless if not for your actions.
As I recall, you fled from the Empire yourself at a rather young age.
Yes, and it was awful. We had nothing to eat and nowhere to shelter from the wind and rain. If not for the priest who helped us, I don't know what would have happened. Are you all right, Dimitri? You seem sad.
My apologies, Mercedes. But may I speak plainly?
You don't need my permission to do that, silly. What's troubling you?
I have been wondering for some time if accepting the Central Church was the correct decision. By giving them shelter, I have also given the Empire the perfect excuse for invasion.
You took them in because you thought it was the right thing to do. Isn't that so?
Yes. The Church of Seiros is deeply entwined with the kingdom's history and politics. The Crown's authority is granted by the Church, which also takes part in governing our villages. Were I to sunder that connection, nobles and commoners alike would be furious. The kingdom would be split anew, and chaos would reign.
That is a tough one. It seems like you're going to end up with a fight no matter what you do. Well, at the very least, I know the townspeople are grateful. But I also know it's not as simple as all that. I'm sorry. That probably didn't do much to help ease your concerns.
No. I should apologize for making you listen as I prattle on endlessly.
Oh, nonsense. If it helped you in any way, I'm glad to do it.
Well, I certainly do feel better. Thank you, Mercedes. And please know that I am here for you for whatever reason, no matter how small.
like a person's a person, no matter how small.
Hey there. Let's see.
Now that Lord Leonardo has pledged his allegiance to the Empire, it's pretty likely they'll try to help him. They can't get a reputation for abandoning those who support them.
Hear you there.
After all, that would be a huge deterrent for anyone who's planning to betray the kingdom and go over to the Empire. So I bet the Emperor will make an effort to rescue Gaspar's army.
Not good.
It kind of makes me feel like, I don't know, like the war has truly begun. Alright, so... board games... Okay. I'll kind of wait, because I'll probably buy some stuff and then give stuff to nearly everybody. I think Castle Gaspar in Roe territory, which is fairly close to Dominic lands.
The thing is...
I've actually met Count Roe myself. Well, I guess we only spoke a tiny bit. He was always going off on his attendance. Honestly, he didn't make a very good impression on me. If we're fighting Lord Leonardo and the Empire's army, then it makes sense we'd have to face Count Roe next, right? I don't imagine they just open their gates if we lay siege to the castle with a large army. Nope, definitely not. Let me see. Cleaning, doing laundry, morning walks, getting dressed up. I'll give her the feather.
I love it.
I'll have to buy more stuff.
To tell the truth...
As I understand it, the Southern Church is one of the churches in Adrestia that's part of the Saros' faith. They apparently had a doctrinal dispute with the Central Church a long time ago, but the old Southern Church and the modern one must be entirely different, right? Let's ask how?
Huh?
What do you mean? Aren't they the same organization with the same doctrine?
Let me think.
Well, the present Southern Church is actually under the Empire's command, and the bishop abides by the Emperor's dictates as well. The bishop's name escapes me, but if I recall, he's the father of one of the students who was in the Black Eagles. I wonder if the people in the Empire weren't just surprised by all the changes regarding the church. I imagine I'd be a little confused myself if something I'd taken as a given was so suddenly rejected. Sweets, needlework, ghost stories, adorable things, painting, reading, fragrant flowers. I'll give her this.
Thank you. I deeply appreciate it.
Alright, that wasn't as well received as it should have been. Alright. Dog! Dog. Okay. It's our new recruit from the Ashen Wolves. I guess I'm with you people now. Ah, well, beats dying out there somewhere.
Honestly, I don't know.
Still, to think I've ended up in the kingdom after all. It'd be a real hassle to have to explain all that stuff, though. Sure hope I don't run into her. I'll say nothing. She appreciated that. Not loving this. You're staring at me in silence thing. Okay, let's see. Freedom, music, humorous anecdotes. Monsters, demonic beasts, conforming to expectations, stifling size, knights, preachy people. I'll give her a feather.
I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty great.
Alright, cool, cool. It's like I'll have to use a bunch of the new people within the next side quest. It's Ingrid. As we turn our forces to the south, the Margrave keeps his eyes on the north.
The story goes...
He actually has another son, in addition to Sylvain. I do remember him. We did fight him in 3 houses. Ah, no, wait. I shouldn't speak about matters pertaining to other houses. Leave it be. I'm not gonna ask if you don't want to say anything else. We can just drop it.
I understand.
Yes, let's. My apologies for bringing up such a difficult matters. Now then, we've had intelligence that the enemy will employ a company of skilled mercenaries to the coming battle. In the coming battle.
Right.
We'll be well served to prepare for all manners of ferocity. Now let me see. Street food, meaty meals, looking after horses, tales of chivalry, virtuous knights. And she dislikes extravagance and hunger.
Is this for me? Thank you.
Rodrigue.
Indeed.
I know Lord Leonardo. He served Rufus for a time, you see. And I heard the Castle Gaspar was granted to him on the recommendation of the Grand Duke.
Let me ponder this.
However, the two of them clashed quite frequently, so maybe it was simply a way to rid himself of a bothersome man. The last time I saw Lord Leonardo was at Lambert's funeral, I believe. I can scarcely believe that this is how we will meet again. It pains my heart. Alright, oh, blacksmith, so... Hand over your weapons and I'll forge them good. Remember, the only thing standing between you and death is the weapon in your hand. The blacksmith. At the blacksmith, you can enhance your weapons. You can use resources to forge new weapons or repair a weapon to its original state.
Hey there. Need something?
I'll check this off screen, as to not take too much time.
See you around.
Same thing with the armor. Like, if I have to buy anything, I'll do that off screen. As far as base camp focuses go. If it doesn't take that much time and like regular parts, then I'll show them. We collect any unneeded armaments and resources here. Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Nothing can go to waste.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army.
The supply depot. At the supply depot, you can exchange surplus weapons and resources for other resources, and also have resources collected automatically. As the story progresses, you'll be able to trade for materials used to expand facilities. I'll check this later as well.
Everything has its use.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, Catherine.
Hey, you.
Ah, it's you. I appreciate the assist back in Al-Lael. I really don't know if I'm saying that right. The name's Catherine, or Thunder Catherine, if you will. I'm one of the Knights of Seros. Good to be fighting by your side. I will introduce myself. Name's Shez. I'm serving as a commander in the kingdom's private army for the time being.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about you. Folks say you know your way around the sword. Lady Rhea gave us direct instructions to come help the kingdom army.
I'll handle it.
The church is grateful the kingdom took them in. Despite the danger, we'll make sure we repay you the best we know how, on the battlefield. Oh, battalions. So, I deal with that now. Oh, Cyril, however you say his name. I came here with Sedith, but I gotta head back to Camula soon. I'm just here so I can tell Lady Rhea about how things are going on the front. I'll probably end up coming back from time to time on business for her. A lot of the church people left in Camulus are elderly, so it's up to me to step up and do my best. And he gone. It's Anna!
Welcome.
Welcome to my shop, or what's going to be my shop if I ever open this darn thing. Anyway, hiya, I'm Anna, and it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Don't pass this by.
If I find anything good out there, I'll add it to my stock, so keep checking back. Ah, welcome. I can recommend battalions to you. I'm certain having experienced troops on your side will be of great help.
Well, well. Hello, you.
Now we get to the battalions. You can hire battalions from the Battalion Guild. Battalions can be assigned to units from the Set Equipment option in the Convoy menu. Every battalion is most effective against a certain enemy weapon type. Facing off against that weapon type will trigger a battalion effect, which makes that battalion one tier stronger and decreases damage taken. Battalions have endurance, which lowers when the unit commanding the battalion takes damage. If endurance reaches 0, the battalion effect will disappear. Like everything else, I'll do this later.
Come back soon, alright?
Because like the last facility that I need to check out is the one in the main area. I can't figure out why Leonardo would start such a reckless fight. He might hold a grudge against the church because of my stepbrother, but to go so far as recruiting people from the city into his forces... I'll agree.
Let's see.
Yeah, whatever the circumstances, dragging civilians into it doesn't make sense. The people of the city love Leonardo, and I'm sure they wanted to fight for his cause.
That's not okay.
But even so, that's no excuse for sending those without any training or experience into battle.
Wait, for me?
Okay, sweets, tales of chivalry, travel journals, looking after children, violence, and he dislikes ghosts, enclosed spaces, violence, and deception. It's like I remember it's like one of the main support conversations for Ashe was with Annette, and they had to go find something that I guess Annette lost in a creepy... is like, I guess in a creepy building or something, and he was pretty much afraid of going in there. It was quite interesting. Right, okay, Dedue's right there. Record keeper. You can reflect on your previous battles here. The past has much to teach us. Come here whenever you wish to ponder your previous actions. Auxiliary battles. Speak with the record keeper and you'll be able to freely select and replay any battle you've already completed. You can also select any side quest that hasn't been completed after completing a chapter. In auxiliary battles, you'll be able to use all of your units, not just those present at that point in the story. However, any units that have been lost in battle will be unavailable. Also note that in classic mode, you may lose units even in auxiliary battles. In auxiliary battles, persuading a unit to join you or failing to do so will not affect the roster of your allies in the story.
Which battle do you wish to reflect on?
Okay. I'll worry about that later when I need to...
records of your battles.
I'll worry about that later when I actually have time. Looks like we're making solid progress. I should get ready to speak with Dedue.
Well then.
Oh, when did Dimitri get there? I suspect you know, but Lord Leonardo is Ashe's adoptive father. So long as Ashe is resolved to fight, we shouldn't interfere.
Please.
However, Leonardo will likely be a difficult opponent for our friend. Please bear that in mind.
You mean it's for... Thank you.
Okay, he likes flowers, gardening, needlework, arts, and crafts. And he dislikes anybody who attempts to harm Dimitri. Okay.
A moment.
Settled.
My thanks.
The Archbishop is both moved and deeply grateful that the kingdom has accepted us. In our view, it would be lamentable if we met your noble deeds with our own failure to cooperate.
That is all.
Bearing that in mind, we've dispatched a portion of the Knights of Seiros to rush to your aid. ask if that's the only reason they're fighting.
You sure?
That's the only reason you're here? It's got nothing to do with the fact that we're fighting Leonardo?
Oh.
Of course, as a member of the church, I should like to settle our relationship with him once and for all. The Knights of Seiros are the finest in the land. They are every bit as equal as to the king's army. I have no doubt we will be of great service to you. Okay, he likes flame. Yeah. The Church of Seiros, diligence in fishing. And then anyone dislikes anyone who is a threat to flame or who opposes the Church of Seiros.
This is wonderful.
You're welcome. And then, I think last but not least, Felix.
That reminds me.
Back when I was about 14 or 15, the boar and I went out west to help quell the rebellion. That's when I witnessed a beast inside him. I know exactly what I saw.
Well?
Tell me, do you think you can imagine the look on his face when he slew the enemy commander? I'll say that I can. Yeah, I think so. Given how you're talking about it, I'm guessing he smiled or something? That's right, I've known him a long time, but I had no idea he was capable of that. I know now that the commander was deeply involved in the Dusker incident. He's not wrong to want revenge, but when I look at him now, it makes my stomach churn. I'll give you owl feather.
Oh, this is nice.
And he likes fighting, high-quality weapons, spicy foods, hunting, and meat. He dislikes levity, sweets. Oh, spicy foods. Okay. He dislikes levity, sweets, chivalry, and his father. Okay, there's somebody else I didn't talk to. Oh, Flame. I didn't see her there.
Excuse me. Good day.
I shall be joining the Kingdom Army in this fight as well. Of course, I did not just up and come here. I secured Lady Rhea's permission first. I'll accept what she says.
Come on.
Huh? That must mean you can fight at least a little. Yeah? Glad to have you.
Goodness.
Goodness, a little. I will have you know that despite my appearance, I am quite accustomed to the battlefield.
Might you?
And on that note, Seth and I look forward to fighting alongside you. And I'll give you the owl feather.
How delightful.
Generous soul too. Okay. She likes lively places, learning new things, making friends, talking about love, forget-me-nots. Dislikes Setith's overprotectiveness, Setith's inordinate meddling, lies, and going to sleep. Who hates going to sleep? Sleep is good for the soul. Alright, so I talked to everybody, I believe, except for... It's like that yellow thing up there, so let me try to get up there real quick. Okay, that's to the war map, and... Is this him?
Nothing to report.
The gatekeeper! He's back! Keep up the good work, Commander. Nothing to report today. Do you remember me? I used to guard the gate back at Garreg Mach.
That reminds me.
Sure, I remember you, but, why are you here?
Actually...
I came here to protect the members of the church. Oh, and also because you kingdom folks saved me back in Alale. I have family back in Adrestia, and so if I'm totally being honest, I've got mixed feelings about all this.
Got it.
But it's a gatekeeper's duty to protect his charges. I swear to you, I'll lay down my life to defend these gates. Okay, so that leads to the war map. Cool, cool. So I did all that, talking.
Hey, Dedue, what are you doing here? You need something?
No, but I must ask, what are you doing here?
Just, you know, making sure all the equipment's in good shape. With how rough yesterday's battle was, I figured it couldn't hurt to round up all the weapons that got broken and try my hand at fixing them.
I see.
Sorry, should I not have taken them out at night or something? You're giving me this look like you don't trust me.
You have His Majesty's trust. I will not lay a hand on you. But I would like to better understand who you are.
I'll agree with his judgment.
Makes sense to me. I'm still just a newcomer and my background's unclear at best.
My apologies.
Nah, it's fine. I'd be suspicious of me too if I were you. Besides, I don't exactly want to go losing my employer either, so feel free to keep as many eyes out as you think necessary. Dimitri clearly needs all the help he can get. I mean, he made me a commanding officer without so much as a second thought to my past or my intentions.
Yet that conviction makes people follow him. And I agree with his decision. Having you close by is convenient.
What, so you can keep a better eye on me? It doesn't really matter. As long as he's paying me, I'll do whatever I've got to do to win for him. Oh, and if I do anything suspicious, you're more than welcome to cut me down right then and there.
A very mercenary response.
Well, yeah, that's what I am. I might have risen the ranks, and I might have my own unit now, but I'm still a merc at heart. As long as I get the results, everything else, like trust and respect, will follow. At least that's what my old Captain Burling taught me. So, I guess I don't have much choice but to just keep at it till I earn your trust.
I see. Now, these weapon repairs will take time. Allow me to aid you.
You sure you don't mean keep an eye on me? Glad to have your help, though, Dedue.
Shez is looking kinda sus.
Huh. So House Yvonne is actually just a branch of House Blythed?
That's how you pronounce it?
Yes. Though really, if you trace any noble bloodline back far enough, you will find most of them are related in one way or another. For example, Duke Yvonne possesses the crest of Karen, while her grandfather possessed the minor crest of Fraldarius. Yet another of her ancestors bore the crest of Blythed, which is passed down through the royal bloodline.
So, you just gotta have a crest to inherit the family title, huh? Doesn't matter which one it is?
In general, yes. The nobility used to be more particular about their requirements, but that is in the past now. Since the houses all keep intermingling, none of them really have a pure bloodline anymore. Meaning they don't get to be picky about which crests they get. Though in truth, the main reason why crests are so valued is because they allow their bearers to wield the hero's relics, passed down through generations. In other words, one who possesses a crest compatible with the family's relic is much more likely to inherit the family title.
Huh. Speaking of, you're the heir to House Galatea, but your crest comes from another family, right?
Yes, but my house is a little different from the others. We originally split off from House Daphne in Leicester, you see. And at times in our history, crest bearers have been passed over entirely for the inheritance.
Can't you just pick a rule and stick to it? Why do you nobles always have to make stuff so complicated?
Complicated or not, this is important knowledge if you are going to keep serving His Majesty.
Is it?
If you stay ignorant, the soldiers you command will lose respect for you, and His Majesty's reputation will be irreparably damaged.
I think whatever reputation he has, he's gonna ruin it himself. I don't know, but yeah. I'll apologize.
Sorry, you're right. I shouldn't be complaining after I asked you to teach me. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, right. You're the legitimate heir, and you have a crest, which means you're gonna inherit the family title someday. But what about all that talk of becoming a knight? Can you even do that if you're leading your house?
No. I have dreamt of obtaining knighthood and defending the king ever since I was a little girl. But I'm afraid it's not meant to be.
And none of your siblings have crests, do they? Isn't there anyone who can take the title for you?
My eldest brother says he is willing to do so if necessary. After all, the decision comes down to what the family and the heir want. Usually, leadership passes to a child with a crest. There have been exceptions, as I mentioned before. Even so, it is the duty of every kingdom noble to take up their relic in defense of their people. Not to mention, my father is not the only one who wants to see me in charge of the house. The citizens of Galatea are hoping for the same.
Huh. I'm not sure I really get all the politics behind it, since I wasn't born in the kingdom. But wouldn't you still be able to protect the king, even if you ended up a count?
I am not sure I follow.
Sorry, I can explain some other time. There's a story about a mercenary I'd love to tell you.
And if there's chivalry in it, she'll like the story, because she likes chivalry. Yeah, so I found this while walking around. I did a whole bunch of stuff off screen. So let's read this journal. Travel's Journal number 1. A record consisting largely of the world outside of Podland. The author's identity is unknown, but they have clearly experienced these places firsthand. Elmira, the great kingdom to the east of Podland. Its territory borders that of the Lesser Alliance, with the precipitous mountain range known as Podland's Throat acting as the dividing line. Its people maintain a strong legacy of horsemanship and relish in the thrill of battle. This vast kingdom is rich in fertile prairies, deserts, and mountain ranges. Albania, a continent to the northwest of Podland, its frigid climate is home to numerous rare and valuable species of flora and fauna. However, the human population there is extremely small due to the intense cold and the frozen earth, which is unsuitable for growing grains or other food crops. Morphus. Morphus is the name of the metropolis of magic to the southeast of Podland, as well as the boundless desert that surrounds it. In the distant past, it was called the City of Illusion. Thanks to an intricate web of trading routes, rumors of its profound and mysterious magic continue to spread. And Dagda, a continent to the southwest of Podland. Due to its extreme distance from Podland, rumors of this relatively unknown world abound. Some claim it's a tropical rainforest, while others insist it's merely a giant frozen plateau. In truth, this vast continent stretches far into the north and south and supports a wide variety of terrain and climates. Alrighty. That's like next time I'm in the area, I can just look around.
Well, how'd it go?
Premium magic herbs.
Any result's a good result.
Do you think it's a fit?
We all have much to learn from each other.
Alrighty. So Ingrid's mastered hers. I got Felix level 2. Felix and Sylvana level 2. So that's good. I think if I use Ashe in the next quest, I'll be able to get him mastered as an archer.
I've grasped new strength.
Okay.
Got to give this a try sometime.
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
counting on you both.
I sure hope it's something I can actually do.
All right, let's give it our best.
All right. The support points can increase significantly. Exotic spices and got 2 renown.
We all must do our fair share.
So I did a lot of stuff off screen. I bought some stuff. I forged some weapons. I forged that rusty sword, which ended up being, I think, an iron sword +5. I think it was either a +5 or a +6. And then I forged that. So I think I gave that to Shez. Has forged a bunch of other weapons, made them stronger and whatnot. So, next time, we're gonna go to the war map and see what the first side quest is going to be. So I'll see you then.